Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. This is Trackside presented by Walmart, and that is Jeff Gordon's 2011 Corvette Z06 that we're going to give away a little bit later in the show. You know, a guy like Jeff Gordon's been in this sport a long time, but sometimes it's a good idea to take a look back and see how far you've come.
Jeff Gordon began racing at the age of 5. He gained experience by racing in many different classes under the watchful eye of his stepdad, John Bickford.
I've ran go-karts for about 3 or 4 years, and the go-karts, they really help you out on the dirt because, you know, you're sideways, and on the pedal, you know, just sort of like the sprints.
Oh my God, you know, this is just insane of how incredible, you know, this career that started when I was 5 and a half, 6 years old, that it's come this far. It was all him.
You know, it is a funny, you think back about it, and we raced too much.
Yeah, we raced a lot.
He's being nice.
No, we raced a lot.
We raced a lot.
But you're not going to get to this, you're not going to get to any professional level and have success, especially at a young age, if you don't commit yourself.
Been running some midgets, started racing the midgets last year, and I'm kind of doing a mixture of midget sprint cars and dirt champ cars this year.
The young man who grew up in Indiana because that was one of the few states that allow a 13-year-old to drive a sprint car. Jeff Gordon has won for the 3rd time this year.
You know, we started focusing on, when I'm interviewed, what to say, what not to say.
Valvoline, Diet Pepsi, Hoosier Tires, Hardee's, they're helping us out a lot, and thank you for getting us on this television here.
Gordon enjoyed success in the Busch Series before advancing to the Cup level, where he shocked the racing world in his first Gatorade Twin qualifier race.
And the rookie from Indiana, it's Gordon across in first. How about that one?
This is going to be real tough to top. I mean, everybody's going to be expecting this every weekend. I hope this happens every weekend, but I can't guarantee you that.
This has been one we've been waiting for a long time. When you see a young guy that's 21 years old and that can handle an automobile like he can, you know, you really think, well, he'll be good for an awful long time.
A fair team. Some good luck to do a lot for this team today because we've been running great all year long.
Jeff Gordon seeking his first Winston Cup victory. It's been a long time since anyone has sat on the pole and won the 600. Checkers are out, and they are down, and it is Jeff Gordon victorious on this Memorial Weekend at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
There was an article in the paper this morning that probably Jeff would have won if he was with a more experienced crew chief, but I don't know what they're going to write about tomorrow morning because, you know, I guess we've won, and we're going to win some more because we really like this feeling.
Man, what a wonderful feeling. For some reason, magic happens here. It's just a dream. I mean, I never thought I'd get a Winston Cup victory, and I start balling with 10 laps to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Gordon to Trackside. Man, every time I see those shots, I think I miss that mustache and mullet.
How's it going, man?
I don't miss the mustache and mullet. Hey, guys.
Hey, folks. Thank you.
How you doing, man?
Hey, thank you so much for doing that segment. That was awesome, and certainly for including my stepdad. I mean, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be sitting right here. I mean, he was unbelievable, you know, visionary, and you know how he introduced me to racing and getting me to this level is unbelievable. We always say we could do all those same things over again exactly the same way, and it would have totally turned out different.
Yeah.
So.
You know, watching that piece, I've been very blessed. I came along and watched Pearson win his races and the King win his. You're 3rd on that list behind those 2 guys, and so many of these fans saw you do it in that 20-year period. I mean, how special is that to be third on that list with that list when you start looking at the guys?
It's incredibly special. You know, and as I mentioned, you know, in some of those interviews, I mean, I just, all I wanted to do was race. You know, I just wanted to win races and be a part of something special. And I got so lucky to meet Rick Hendrick and be a part of Hendrick Motorsports early on in my career. I think that was one of the things that was key to those number of wins, was getting into great equipment with a great team, Ray Evernham. I mean, we just clicked. And we won a bunch of races together. And, you know, I look back to those mid and late 90s, and it's unbelievable. I mean, there was 40, 50 races we put together right there in a matter of 4 or 5 years. And I never thought, you know, that we would ever get to third on the, I didn't even think it was imaginable or possible. So I never really thought a whole lot about it. But along the way, you start getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, you know, this is history, and I respect, you know, the other drivers in this sport and what they've done before I came along. Certainly nobody's ever going to get to 200 in the King, but and I don't think anybody will ever get to Pearson, but you know that third is obviously doable. Huge. You look what Jimmy Johnson's doing, and you know guys like Kurt Busch, and so those numbers are doable, but I didn't know if they were doable for me, so I'm pretty proud of it.
Cool, man.
Thank you.
Trackside presented by Walmart. The fans are here in numbers because we have the 4-time Cup champion, Jeff Gordon, join us tonight.
Great to be here, guys.
You know,
heck of a crowd.
It really is.
Texas crowd.
Texas
everything's
crowd.
bigger.
Everything's big. We talk about the history books and how they're going to remember you right now, third on the all-time list. We've already documented that. But from your perspective also, you've been a part of history being made also when we think about Jimmy Johnson's accomplishments, those 5 straight. And maybe it might be coming to an end. When you stop and reflect back, I mean, I know you're a fan of the sport. How incredibly awesome is what he accomplished? I mean, and you're being a part of that also. I mean, you're not just a driver. You're a part of developing another driver who's really turned the sport upside down.
It's unbelievable. You know, we talk all the time about how competitive the sport is and how hard it is to get an edge, how hard it is to dominate. And you know, I look back, you know, the mid-late 90s when we did dominate, and then you didn't see that happening for a while. And then, boom, you know, those guys start to click and come together. I knew, you know, they came so close to win the championship just before they started their streak, and I knew then, if once they win a championship, watch out. These guys are going to go on an incredible tear. And who would have ever thought 5 in a row? So it's been really cool and exciting to be a part of it. It's also been frustrating at times as a driver. But no, you know what? That's a perfect example of when team chemistry comes together and really good equipment and what you can do with it. As you've been a part of, you know, we've all been a part of it on some level at some time in our career, but they've been a part of it in a big way for the last 5 years.
You know, now that we have the chase, every year this chase gets crazier and crazier. This chase is no different. Talladega being a great example of it. So I want to go back to Talladega and your deal with Trevor. And my issue with what went on there was a trust factor. When you're pushing somebody, you have to trust that guy in front of you. When you're leading, you have to trust that he's going to do the right thing.
Right.
And I felt like a trust was broken right there. How important is trust as a driver when you're sitting in that car? Trusting that guy's not going to come across your nose at a Martinsville. Trusting that guy's going to do what he says he's going to do.
Well, I'm one that doesn't ever trust any other drivers, and I probably blame myself a little bit because I did trust the conversation that we had on the radio, which is kind of crazy now we're able to tune into other guys' radio, what was going on that week with the Ford camp. And so, but I ran out of options, didn't have anybody else. Unfortunately, Mark Martin, you know, wasn't there at the time. So when we got going, I got a great restart. He got in there right behind me, and we were making some incredible ground. I think we actually got to third, and then, you know, he went inside of me, and I was like, what just happened? But, you know, I talked to Trevor, going back and looking at the video, you know, the 6, I guess, blew up, and that was the 17's partner. And the 17 did a good job. Matt did a good job getting in there on the 21 to where when they said, hey, the 17 doesn't have a partner and he's right there on his bumper, you know, it messed all of us up, actually. It didn't help them either. So it just, to me, I think that if Trevor would have stayed with me, he might have been able to dump me out and still, you know, had a better shot at a better finish or even the win. We had a great run, and I hate it happened, but you know, there's politics, there's all kinds of things going in this sport. It's a crazy sport.
It is crazy.
And the craziest part about it is I went from 3rd to, what, 27th in a lap and a half. That tells you a lot about the draft.
Hey, coming up, welcome back to Trackside presented by Walmart. We are here at Texas Motor Speedway, and tonight we are giving away this beautiful 2011 Corvette Z06. Jeff Gordon, you've been doing this for a lot of years, giving cars away. How does this all work?
Well, you know, the Jeff Gordon Children's Foundation's been having a Corvette raffle for the last 5 years. We've been selling out of this Corvette raffle. We've raised over $2 million for pediatric cancer research and access to treatment. And this year, earlier in the year, we spiced it up a little bit this year. We picked 3 finalists. These are our 3 finalists that we chose on Speed Channel on Trackside earlier in the year. And now we brought them here to Texas. And one of these 3 winners is going to pick one of these boxes and win the Z06.
Okay, so far at the end, we've got our buddy Jim Campbell from Chevy to make sure you and I don't mess this up.
That's right.
Jim's keeping us honest. We've got Ira Feldman from Lakeview, New York. We've got Jay Nadel from Lakeland, Florida. And Fred Baker from Logan, Florida. All right, Fred, you're going to pick first. You pick whatever box you want, and you hold on to it. Go for it. You just, any box of those, you pick one. Then I'm going to tell you, don't do anything with it.
Don't do anything with it. Yeah, hold on to it.
You're up next.
All right, Jay.
Whichever one you want. Oh, kind of going in line. All right, here's how it's going to work.
That was pretty easy.
Ira's got the last one. Here's how it's going to work. In each of these is a key fob for this car.
That's correct.
Only one of them is going to set off the alarm. So you start first, Fred. You open that up. And remember,
hand me the lid there, Fred.
If this goes off, I just want you to know you just won Jeff Gordon's personal Corvette. So just keep that in mind. I believe it's that red panic button with the horn on it.
Yeah, push that red one.
Yeah.
No, the red one. Push that red one. Sorry, Fred.
Fred, good
That's
try.
Not the one. All right, go to box
Jay,
number 2.
Ira, the pressure's on.
There you go, Jay.
Look at Jay, so calm and so cool.
There you
go. Jay just won a Corvette Z06.
Sorry, Fred. Sorry, Ira. Way to go, man. Yeah. Let's turn that alarm off now. Congratulations.